You're listening to Rockin' Country Radio, today's hottest country and more. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Friday edition of Rockin' Country Radio. I'm your host, Dawn Mack, and very glad to be here with you. It is the end of the week, folks, and the weekend is upon us. And I know many of you probably have big plans this weekend. It is the weekend, after all, and to go and do some great things. Maybe you're going to the beach. Maybe you're going to a party, a cookout. Maybe you're going to a great country concert. Who knows? But I hope wherever you are, the weekend's going to be fabulous and gorgeous, and your plans are going to take shape nicely. Here this weekend it's supposed to rain. It's going to be a complete washout. So, but that's okay. We can deal. It's all right. It's still the weekend, and that's a good thing. We want to welcome everyone to our show today. We are here at a special day and time. Typically, we're not on Fridays, but our guest today was able to do the interview this afternoon, and we're waiting for him to call in now. So we are very glad that you took time out of your day to be here as well. And if you're brand new to our show, thank you so much for joining us, and we're glad to have you here as well. We are very excited about our guest today. He has a hit single out that has really been getting a lot of airplay, both on, terrestrial mainstream radio as well as internet radio, and it's just really making its rounds. It's a great single. It's called Take It On Back. First time I heard it, I was in my car driving down the road and was listening to my local country station and heard it on there, and I thought, wow, who's singing that, and heard it again and then again, and from the moment I heard it, it was just one of those songs that immediately got my attention and grabbed me. Great hook, great song, and so it's no wonder that he's getting some airplay, much deserved, I might admit. But our guest today is, he is definitely defined by music, and he has done so much already in a short span of time. He's a very young 21-year-old. He hails from Texas, and he is a Redbow recording artist and co-producer of his debut album. And he has just done some amazing things, undoubtedly. But he comes from, a line of music because his grandfather played piano in Roy Orbison's first two bands and later for Waylon Jennings. So naturally, music is going to be in his blood. His uncles co-founded the group Ricochet, for those of you who remember that, and I certainly do, which is kind of telling my age because many of you who are listening are probably going, who is Ricochet? But Ricochet was a great big group in the 90s, got a lot of airplay, were very popular, and had some great hits. And so he has always been around music, suffice it to say. It's only it's a given that he would pursue music, considering how much musical talent is in his family. And I must tell you, from hearing his single, Take It On Back, it is no doubt that our guest today, Chase Bryant, is the epitome of what immense talent is all about. And undoubtedly he is going to have a tremendous career in country music. And despite being on the cusp of exceptional achievement for someone so young, he was recently named the best things we saw at the CMA Music Fest 2014 by Rolling Stone magazine. And I tell you, it just doesn't get much bigger and better than that. So while we're waiting for him to call in, I'm going to go ahead and play Chase's latest release, Take It On Back. And I tell you, if you don't own it, this is one you need for your collection. It's a great song. Take a listen.
Take it on back, take it on back, take it on back to where the grass is greener. Yeah. All right. She was a South Georgia stunner, hotter than hell in July. We tasted heaven that summer, then said goodbye, and I don't know why, 'cause we parked down by the river, steam up them windows real good. Wish I could go back and see her, you know I would, Lord, if I could. Take it on back, take it on back, take it on back to where the grass is greener. Take it on back, back to when she and me were true. thinking I still love her. She only knew all I wanna do is take it on back, take it on back, take it on back to where the grass is greener. Take it on back, back to when she and me were true believers. Loving all the things that come with it, moonshine kisses, man, I miss it. Take it on back, back to the best I ever had. Take it on back. Take it on back to the truck bed blanket, holding that girl till the sun come up. Take it on back to her song and crank it, turn it up loud, I can see her now. Take it on back, back to where the grass is greener. Take it on back, back to where she and me were true believers. Living all the things that come with it, moonshine kisses, man, I miss it. Take it on back, back to the best I ever had. Take it on back. Take it on back. Take it on back. Yeah, I said take it on back. Whoa, yeah. Take it on back.
Take It On Back from Chase Bryant. I tell you, great song. And we are so excited to welcome to our show today, Chase Bryant. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good. Just back home in Nashville for a couple hours before I hit the road. So,
You know, I saw that you were about to be back on the road this weekend. You've got 2 back-to-back shows coming up, Saturday and Sunday. You are a busy man, my friend.
oh, I am. I'm definitely staying as busy as I can, trying to get home when I can, and do laundry and hit the road just when I get done. So.
Well, you know, really, I've seen your schedule. I've followed you, and I've been, following you on social media. And this summer, you have been crazy busy. And when you go home, I'm sure all you have time to do is laundry. Just get it done and back out. I mean, it's almost like you barely turn around and you're back out on the road again.
Oh, absolutely. That's all I have time for these days, right? So,
Yeah.
but it's been good. It's good to stay busy and good to stay out there, and it's what you wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do my whole life, and so it's been awesome. I couldn't be more thankful.
Oh yeah. Well, as I was saying as I opened the show earlier, I was giving listeners a little bit of background on you in case those of you weren't familiar with you, and it's hard not to have the music bug inside of you because you come from a lineage of, family that just has had their hands and feet, inside of country music for so long. And it seems like it's only a second nature to you. I mean, you've been around this your whole life.
Yeah, I have. My grandfather, to give you a little bit, my grandfather played with Roy Orbison, Teen Kings and Wink Westerners until his mom said that rock and roll music wasn't allowed in the house anymore because Elvis Presley shaking his hips on a TV screen was a huge sin. So he had to quit the band the day before they went to cut his first record at Sun Records, and he went to go play for Waylon Jennings in college and played with Buddy Holly a bunch and the Glenn Campbell TV show in Lubbock, Texas a couple times, the Louisiana Hayride Tour, which was Elvis Presley's tour. And then I had my mom and her 2 brothers, and my mom's 2 brothers started a band in the 90s called Ricochet, which had a hit in 1996 called Daddy's Money. So I have been, somebody said I was dunked in it, and I truly feel that was what it was. Unless it was my parents put me underwater to try to get me to be quiet, but I think it was dunking me in the country music for sure.
Well, and this is going to date me in terms of my age, but I remember being a huge Ricochet fan, and they were an awesome group. Had great music, and yes, their hits were indeed hits, and everybody loved them. And so I mean, you have had quite the experience just growing up around all these famous people, and and having these connections, and so that alone was enough to just make you want to do it, even if you hadn't have wanted to. It's just kind of become who you are. And so, did you ever in your wildest dreams, I mean, initially when you thought about pursuing music, did you ever think, well, you might venture off into a different genre, or was it definitely going to be country for you from the get-go?
No, it was always country music. And we're all influenced from different parts. I mean, I think as a guitar player, I was influenced by more of a rock and roll scene, the Tom Petty, the Bryan Adams, and those kind of vibes, Fleetwood Mac. But, as a songwriter, as a singer, as a performer, growing up listening to Don Williams or Hank Williams or Waylon Jennings or Merle Haggard and Keith Urban and Rodney Foster, just tons of different people, I knew there was a truth in country music, and that's what I wanted to be part of. And I saw the family-oriented vibe of country as well. And it's just, they're the songs that I listen to, they're the most timeless ones to me. And that's just why I never felt like I was forced to do it. I felt like it's what I wanted to do,
Mhm. Oh, yeah, and believe me, it definitely agrees with you. It seems like I said, this is just kind of second nature for you. And now you have this huge hit, Take It On Back, which I have to tell you, I have to share. The first time I heard your song, I was in my car driving down the road listening to my local country radio station here in Raleigh, North Carolina. And I was like, man, who is that? Who's singing that, And I heard it again, and they played it. I mean, they play a lot of the up-and-coming stuff as well as the established, popular country. And I was like, wow, this guy's good.
Right.
And and I just kept hearing it, and I thought, I'm glad the radio station likes it, because this is quickly becoming one of my favorite songs. And
thank you.
it is a great song. I love the hook line in it, and it's just got the melody, all of it is just a great song. And talk a little bit about that, because that is a real guitar shredding kind of song, and that's one of the things I love about country music right now, is because it's got so much kind of an infused rock feel to some of it, and
right.
This song definitely does that.
Yeah, well, I mean, for me, I did, and I'll start with, I did co-produce my record, and I played all the guitars on it, and I wrote all the songs, so it definitely was who I was, and that's Take It On Back was definitely me as a guitar player, a singer, a producer, a songwriter, a performer. I mean, it kind of lives in that more, kind of up tempo, kind of good feel vibe to it, and I mean, we were just sitting around one day, and literally my co-writers that I was writing with, who are two of my best friends, Tommy Lee James and Dylan Altman, who have written the string of hits together. We really just kind of said, let's put all our influences in a hat, but at the same time, describe who you are as an artist, describe who you really want to be, and let this song just be you. And at the time, it was right around summer, and I was playing a mandolin lick at the time, which was kind of what that banjo is based around on the top of the song. And I just sat down, and I believe that I didn't actually. I think it was one of the first times I didn't have the hook, and somebody said, "Take it on back," and I just started singing that, "Take it on back, take it on back, take it on back." So it was just kind of, it just kind of lent itself to being fun and being anthemic, and that's kind of where we took it. Now, when it came to the record version, as you can hear, I'm sure you probably got the extended guitar version, what I call the Guitar Hero version. That just kind of happened in the studio. That was just me going, I want to show off a little bit and play guitar. Yeah. So that definitely is where that came from. But, yeah, I mean, Take It On Back was just supposed to be my fun anthem, my summer song. And in the front half, we were coming with another single. We actually weren't coming with Take It On Back. And everybody just kind of felt good about that song, and the listeners and fans and country radio had kind of put their ear on it and started to really love that song. And being country radio and people like that, the fans, they're the gatekeepers, and I want to give them what they feel like they're going to listen to every day. You know what I mean? Because I've got to go out and play it every night, and I want to make them happy just as much as I am. And so that was definitely the obvious choice, and I'm so glad we did it, and I'm glad that people are starting to hear it and it's starting to move a little bit.
Oh yeah, it definitely is for sure. It's one of those songs that you hear it the first time and you automatically love it. I mean, it's just got that appeal, and the great hook. But the whole "Take It On Back," I mean, that whole hook line gets in your head, man, and it just stays. And then you're singing it 3 days later. You may have heard it, you may not have heard it on the radio in between, but then you got to go download it because then you got to have it. As I said at the top of the show, I said, before I played your song, I said this is a song if you've not heard it, you're going to want it for your own personal collection. So be sure to go to iTunes and download it when we're done, kind of thing, because
Absolutely.
I did. I mean, that was my personal experience about it. So talk about this debut album, because for a debut album, I mean, you to be as young as you are, and in some respects 21's not young, but then it is in another vein. But you co-produced this, and I mean, that's a huge thing in itself, not only apart from, being the singer-songwriter kind of perspective, but being a co-producer. I mean, that really meshed you you were fully immersed in the whole album from handling that. But what was that experience like for you?
It was completely different because, being part of the Broken Bow family, I mean, I'm on Red Bow Records, which is a stem of Broken Bow, which has Jason Aldean and Randy Houser and Dustin Lynch, Parma Lee, Joe Nichols, everybody like that. It's, I was told I was the first person to ever get to write all the songs from their first record and co-produce their first record, that had never been done. And so I was, I'd moved to town to Nashville to become a songwriter and an artist, but knew I had to do something first. And it was very vital to me that I put out a product that somebody, I wanted it to be the soundtrack to somebody's life. And I wanted it to describe me, but I also wanted people to realize I can be part of who he is. I can be a friend with him. I can be somebody he can talk to, and I felt like with that was for me to write every song. And when it came to the sound, that was me as a producer. I mean, I definitely geek out. I'm a geek over gear. I'm a nerd. I mean, I'm sure Hunter Hayes has said that a million times too. But I mean, there's some of us that really are nerds and geeks about gear and guitars and drums and just everything. And so, for me, I had a sound in my head. I really wanted to conquer that. I wanted that to come across. And my best friend on the entire planet, and I got to co-produce that record. His name's Derek George. He did do Randy Houser's Running Out of Moonlight, Goodnight Kiss, all those things. And these past couple Joe Nichols things as well as the next single on Joe. So, I felt like with him and us being best friends and having a connection, he was able to help me make that painting or make that record that I was making. He helped me steer it in the right direction and paint it with all the right colors. So it's just it's pretty surreal that I actually got to do that, I would say.
Well, and for it to be a debut album, you were so correct. It is rare that an artist that's making a debut album gets to be that involved with the making of it. And the fact that you were able to, it really gives you that ownership of it, unlike if you had just showed up to sing in the studio to record it. It really does give it a whole different level of feeling like this is your record. And being your debut effort at that. So, and it's a great record, by the way. It is one of the best I've heard in a long time from a debut, for a debut project. It to me is as good as any mainstream artist out there that's putting out records, that's put out mini records. It's very relevant, and it definitely has what it takes. And so that's why I know that you are going to have a huge career. I mean, this is things I'm sure are snowballing because, as I said, you've been on the road like crazy this summer. And I have to ask you, I mean, you grew up in a little small town in Texas that had about 1,200 people population. So moving to Nashville, I mean, you've been around music your whole life, but when you made the move to Nashville, was it a huge eye-opener, or was it kind of like something you expected because you just are from a musical family?
Well, when I came into Nashville, I saw, you'd see the skyline and you'd go, oh, my gosh, I'm in a big city. What am I going to do? And really, Nashville is a small town. I mean, when you know one person, you know everybody. Even, and I always say, it's like somebody asked me the other day, well, who do you know as stars and how are they? And I mean, I use one person, for example, every time, and it's Randy Houser. I mean, every time I'm around that guy or every time I see him, he's a nice guy. I mean, we hug each other. We're talking, and it's not, talking about music and talking, germing each other. It's more, it's more how are you and how you been and, how's the family, how's everybody else. And that's the thing about Nashville is it's such a small town mentality. in a big city, and so that's what I love about it. And it's growing, but people grow, if people came into Nashville with kind of more cocky, arrogant kind of, I'm going to come in and own the place, they learn really quick that nobody wants to be like that here. Everybody really wants to be accepting to everybody, and everybody wants to hang and get along and be friends, be a family. And I think that's the best thing about this town. And, I didn't expect it to be like that. I knew that country music was very, a get-along kind of thing. But when I moved here, I really figured out so fast that was really how this town worked. And I couldn't be more thankful to live here and be I feel pretty blessed to be able to live in this city and do the things I do and actually love it at the same time.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. And as you are such an impressive artist because you have such a lineage of family that has been a part of this industry for so long. But one of the things when I first, heard about you and was learning about you, one of the things that impressed me so much was not only your ability as an artist, but the fact that you were the last artist that the widow of Roy Orbison signed. And I think that is just, oh my gosh, that is huge. I mean, and what a great compliment to the fact that she just signed you on the spot. What was that like for you? Because, Roy Orbison, does it get any bigger than Roy Orbison? I mean, what a legend, in his own time.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's a feeling you can't describe. Meeting the family and understanding, the gratitude of his career. I think it's unbelievable to think that I'm part of that family. The first day I met Barbara was when she was coming down with pancreatic cancer, which she later passed away from. But I met her that day. She was getting sick, and she was kind of in an irritable mood actually. And when I got there, she perked up, and I started playing, and she started smiling and had me go wait downstairs at her office, and then brought down a contract and wanted to sign me on the spot. And we talked almost every day to the day she passed. And we became super close. We became very close. Her kids always joke with me because all of her phones used to have speed dial on them, and I was the number one person on her speed dial. So that always cracked them up. I'm really good friends with her son now, and we talk about Roy all the time and her, and it's really cool. It's humbling to see that people. Like, again, in this town, it's just, her being one of them. Her being the first person, she came from fame and royalty, and she was nothing but just humble and personable and wanted to talk, and that was the thing, and just about Nashville. Again, I know I've said it once or twice, but it's a humbling town. You come here and you love where you're at. It's safe, it's fun, and just to know that I'm part of the Orbison family is a pretty awesome feeling.
I think that you were her adoptive son. I really believe that. To be number one on the speed dial. But, I'm thinking, as you're sharing that, and thank you for sharing, but that to me is almost like one of those full circle things that has just come to fruition. With your grandfather playing for him, and then much later, you get signed on the spot by his wife. That is tremendous. And to add to that, what's even crazier than that is their song plugger at the time, who was my first song plugger there, because I signed my publishing deal with her. My first song plugger pitched Daddy's Money to my uncles. So you talk about full circle. It definitely came back around. I would say so, indeed. Now, you have a couple big shows coming up this weekend, and, that's kind of been your norm all summer. But what's coming up for you that fans can expect? What can we look for from you? We're going to be at the Grand Ole Opry, my Grand Ole Opry debut, which I actually just got chills from that. It's kind of weird. I'm going to be at the Grand Ole Opry. August 22nd is my debut. We're going to be there playing my single and then one other song. And we're going to be doing that. And we're out on the Brantley Gilbert tour this fall, September to December, and with Tyler Farr and Aaron Lewis. So that's going to be a blast as well. You are going to be on the Brantley Gilbert tour. I just looked at his website last week because I know this is the second leg that's going to be touring through the fall, and he's coming to Raleigh, and Raleigh is about 40 minutes from where I live. And I'd already told my daughter, I said, we've got to go see Brantley. I had no idea you were going to be on the tour. This is unbelievable. I'm so excited for you. And look, the venue that y'all are going to roll into in Raleigh is second to none. It is PNC Arena is huge. I'm not sure how many it seats, but it seats probably seats between 20 and 30,000 people. So get ready. Yeah. And that is an honor to be on that tour. I mean, you are on that tour with some major talent, man, and of course you are yourself. And I know they're honored to have you on it as well. So we are excited about seeing you when you roll through Raleigh. That's going to be awesome.
Well, thank you so much, and I appreciate everything you've done today. And, man, it's awesome, and I'm glad to get on here and talk with you.
Oh, likewise. Well, thank you, and best of luck to you as you go forward and as you are on tour this fall. It's going to be awesome to see you in Raleigh, but further, it's going to be great to see what happens to you in 2015. I know you're going to have a big year and a big career to boot. So thank you so much for your time today, Chase.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And, everybody have a great day.
All right, you too. Take care.
All right, thank you.
Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Chase Bryant, and you heard him. He is going to be on tour with Brantley Gilbert this fall. How exciting is that? If you're a Brantley Gilbert fan, you definitely don't want to miss it. Now, to check out Chase, you can go visit his website, chasebryant.com. He's also Chase Bryant on Twitter and Facebook. Check him out, and if you've not heard the song, we played it at the top of the show. We're going to play it one more time before we close as we wrap up today because it's too good not to, honestly. He is, I mean, I'm telling you, he is not just an artist to watch. He is an artist that you need to remember who he is because he is going to be, you know, he's going to be as big as Brantley Gilbert and some of these other great country stars that are your favorites out there. He has a great career ahead of him. I mean, when you come from a lineage of talent in a family such as what he's come from, it makes sense that he would be pursuing country music fervently and furiously. So if you're out and about, go to his website, check out where he's going to be out and about this summer and fall because you're sure to see him on the road somewhere. He's going to be all over the place. So as we close today, we are going to play his song again. We don't ever do this, but his song is worthy of that, and we definitely want to give him due recognition. And I would say it is for sale on iTunes. If you love it, please go buy it. It helps him continue to do what he does. And we look forward to everything coming down the pipes from him. So that is going to wrap our show for today and this week. We've had a great week here on Rockin' Country Radio, lots of great guests. But we will be back Monday night, 7:30 p.m. with another great artist. And I will tell you, he was just named the best male country artist in North Carolina at the Carolina Music Awards just last weekend. So we are very excited to have him. He's a North Carolina native. So we're glad to be welcoming him to our show. But we will be back here again, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. It starts all over again next week. So we also will be here tomorrow night for our Highway Underground show. We'll be playing Chase's song and lots of other great up-and-coming country artists that you don't want to miss. Show starts at 7 p.m. Eastern. Look for us to tweet that out on social media. But you can find us over at Spreaker.com. Just search for Rockin' Country Radio, and you'll be able to find us. So hope to see you there. So, for Rockin' Country Radio, I'm your host, Dawn Mack. Very glad to have you here with us today. Huge thanks to Chase Bryant for being our special guest. Have a wonderful evening. Enjoy your weekend. Whatever you do, be safe. And we'll see you back here again early next week. Take care. God bless.
Take it on back, take it on back, take it on back to where the grass was greener. Yeah. All right. She was a South Georgia stunner, hotter than hell in July. We tasted heaven that summer, then said goodbye, and I don't know why, 'cause we parked down by the river, steam up them windows real good. Wish I could go back and see her, you know I would, Lord, if I could. Take it on back, take it on back, take it on back to where the grass is greener. Take it on back, back to when she and me were true believers. Loving all the things that come with it, moonshine kisses, man, I miss it. Take it on back, back to the best I ever had. Take it on back. Yeah. Well, I wonder if she ever wonders if I'm thinking about her too. 'Cause I'm thinking I still love her. She only knew all I wanna do. Take it on back, take it on back, take it on back to where the grass is green. till the sun come up. Take it on back to her song and crank it. Turn it up loud, I can see her now. Take it on back, back to where the grass was greener. Take it on back, back to where she and me were true believers. Loving all the things that come with it. Moonshine kisses, man, I miss it. Take it on back, back to the best I ever had. Take it on back. Take it on back. Take it on back. Yeah, I said take it on back. Whoa, yeah. Take it on back.
Check out Rockin' Country Radio on the web. Find us at rockincountryradio.com, on Twitter at rockin_CTRY, and on Facebook at Rockin' Country Radio.